And we're back, and we're moving into our second conversation for today. We have guests joining us from the West here to tell us all about their upcoming expo. We have representatives of Sacred Heart Junior College. We have Fermin Magana, who is the Dean of Sacred Heart Junior College. In the middle, we have Valine Hydes, who is a student in General Studies. And on this end, we have Angelique Ayuso, who is the Director of Student Services. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you too. I know you guys had an early start to get here as well, right?
Yes.
But you've had your coffee.
Yes.
Good. So let's just get a bit of an update. And as the Dean, Fermin, you can tell us a bit of just the growth of Sacred Heart over the years as a tertiary institution in Cayo.
Yes. We started in 1999 as a junior college. We have had a tradition of a high school for more than over 30 years before that. But we are happy to say that Sacred Heart Junior College has come a long way because we have grown from about 100 and odd students at the beginning, where we are close to 600 plus students right now.
Yeah.
So we're very happy about that.
How have the course offerings grown since then as well?
Well, at the beginning we had a natural resource management. Actually, it was a natural science program, a business program, and from there we have grown to over 9 programs now. The latest one of those is a accounting program and an early childhood education program.
Nice. That's great. Now, you know, it is accessibility in education is absolutely important. And I guess, you know, Angelique, we went to school together. You were from Cayo. You had to come to Belize City to be able to go to junior college. Having something within your own area with a broad offering of courses really allows people to have more accessibility to that education. But have you found people beyond just the actual community seeking out education in Sacred Heart?
Yes, we have. I must say that as of late, we're attracting a lot of people from the down south area.
Okay. Nice.
In the early 90s and the 2000s, we had a lot of people from up north. They were seeking the tourism program which we had at Sacred Heart that it was not available in up north, but now it's available. So we have less people from that area coming, but from the Punta Gorda and Dangriga area, we have a lot of people coming to us now, seeking to come to Sacred Heart. One of the attractive things that we have is our scholarship programs, where people are coming to play sports at Sacred Heart due to our scholarships that we offer to our students.
You offer sports scholarships?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Well, actually, I think we have scholarships that are, we won't say that they're not really publicized, but coming from a school that really embraces the Catholic ethos, we may, in our applications process, identify students, you know, in their admissions that have dire need, and we see the birth of some charitable type of scholarship, because we do focus on that family environment, because junior college is a transitionary phase of education, and this is where we have a high attrition rate. We focus very strongly on ensuring that we maintain and help to guide these young people, because when they graduate in June, they are considered teenagers, but in August, all of a sudden they're considered to be adults. But that it doesn't work like that. In many cases, and you know, our ad has been airing, I think, for almost 2 weeks now, and it must go to say that it highlights real characters. We have Will Mark. He's one of our what we consider to be a goodwill scholar. We just identified a need out there because we really believe in the motto that education is available, because that's the push currently. And a lot of Belizeans, you know, if we have a problem at the high school level where we have probably close to 50% of our students not finishing high school, then the situation gets a bit worse at the junior college level. And so we try to have it accessible, meaning that we will give you opportunities for you to at least achieve that level of tertiary education. Along with that, in the scholarships, of course, the sports where we use the athletic ability to be able to get you through that part, and it also teaches you discipline, professionalism, and so forth. We've seen, I think over the past 2 years now, because one of our first, the pilot student, is scheduled to graduate probably in July, is a police officer program. We've seen a lot of negative negative responses on social media about our police officers, that they're unprofessional and whatever have you. And as a positive response to that, we created opportunities for lower ranking police officers that can find the time to, apply into our school, ensure that they finish the qualifications process, they go through everything like any other student, then they have an opportunity to apply for a scholarship that is specifically for police officers.
How does
That's
that tie into the overall scope of the police department and whatever curriculum is in place at the training academy?
Well, that's an interesting one, but we've had a beautiful marriage because currently, and I must call her out, Joan Stanford, she's a PC that is attached to the community policing department, and they work very closely with programs such as GRADE, where they actually go into a classroom and have to interact, instruct, and teach younger people, young students at the primary school level in the GRADE program. I could also foresee something like business administration because yes, you are trained as a police officer, but sometimes you are placed in positions where you have to manage an office, make different correspondences, arrange, design things, and I believe that this was a response to that to help to assist the police department.
What's been the interest?
So far, we've had business administration and tourism.
Okay.
And currently we have 4 officers in the program.
We're also working with the police department for a program where we will teach them how to write properly in English. Some of them do need that. So we have already have them go through a placement test of sort for the English. And then from there, that would, we are working on the second part of this, which would be to get a cohort of police officers to come in and take a program where they will learn how to better write their reports.
But I'm
That's such a
surprised
great
that
example of where an educational institution interjects in areas where there's a need. And it's not to say, I mean, we have some well-trained police officers, but there's some who perhaps never had the opportunity to go for tertiary education.
I think in identifying the need, there was, informal conversations because we try to maintain relationships with our stakeholders. I work very closely with community policing officers, particularly Mr. Jason Jones in San Ignacio. He does an exceptional job, and there was a need from his lower ranking officers, like, I really want to go back to school, I really want to do this, but my schedule is not as forgiving, sometimes financing, they don't have it, it's not as forthcoming, and we believe that this was an opportunity. What they provide back for us is, one, we don't know, we are living in changing times. We do have officers there, not to, intervene in anything, but just the simple fact that we have added security on campus, and they assist us with giving back hours, like at our sports matches, or, if we're having a fundraiser and these types of things.
I'm surprised that other institutions have not followed suit in such an initiative, considering the fact that we interact with police officers regularly, and there is a dire need for them to be able to, in the case that you pointed out, for them to be able to properly communicate in English, either written or orally. You find that they interact with the public regularly as well, where they're taking down statements and those kinds of stuff, evidence collection and that sort of stuff, and you see the need for it. And when you look at the threshold for individuals who are interested in joining the department to have an academic background, most of them only go as far as what is the minimum requirement. And it's difficult thereafter because of either their transfers or their working hours for them to get back into schooling. So I applaud and commend the initiative on your end.
And let's get some time to talk about student life, because we have Valine here, and tell us about why did you choose General Studies and Sacred Heart?
Well, I attended tertiary level education institution before Sacred Heart, and it was a bit more difficult because it was further.
Yeah, you had to commute?
Yes. So when I came to Sacred Heart to try and finish up, the ambience was very much different. Everyone treats you like family. They're interested in having you finish your education. So therefore, it makes it very much easier to want to be there and finish. I chose general studies because it is one of the fields that helps you to be. You experience a little bit of everything. Therefore, if you're confused about what you want to do, then that is the program for you, because you get to do hands-on. You have hands-on experience in a lot of the courses, the tourism, the business department, and we also do science. It's a little bit of everything in that one program. So when you're finished with that program and you choose to go on to do a bachelor's or something, that way you can know, well, this is what I like to do now.
So Sacred Heart has helped you in terms of being able to eliminate your commute, and you can dedicate more time at school. You say it's a different environment, and your open day, I guess, is one of those activities that everyone can get on board. Tell me about that. Anyone?
About the open day, we had some photos sent in, and Valine is a general studies student, but she's also doing marketing. She's also fresh from Merida, where we visited an open day there, because they were looking for Belizean students to attend their institution. So the general studies really give them an opportunity to really get around and feel. So if you take a look at her expertise, because her little initiative that they are selling or promoting for open day is the Tiki Touch, and she can tell you a bit more about that.
She's being shy with us.
I think she's nervous.
Well, our product is fruit jars. So it came about being a healthy snack, and then eco-friendly, because we do it in jars instead of plastics. That way you save the planet and you become a healthy. You do healthy eating. You have fruits, fresh fruits from the market, and we cut them up and put them in the jars. You have toppings to choose from. So, and then it was very economic, and so even if you have just a quick little break, you can always pick one up.
Now, the marketing expos have become more and more popular, where we're really encouraging kind of entrepreneurship at a younger age and innovation, most importantly. How surprised are you at the ideas that the students are able to generate at this level?
I think I am amazed. I'm sold on the Tiki Touch, the fruit in a jar, because I love mason jars, and you do get one with your purchase. But about 2 weeks ago, we actually collabed with the University of Belize with students that are doing a like subject, and we had an expo in Belmopan, and I was amazed. We had, this year our theme is food items, and they had corn dogs, they had a natural local. It had on, I think, takis and that type of stuff. It sounded crazy, but it was delicious.
I'm sure.
Other things that we've seen over time, like detergents and cleaning agents. Actually, I believe school is still being supplied by some of the products that our students created in last year's batch. So the innovation is there, and as you mentioned, I think paradigms shifted, and we're seeing individuals owning businesses at a very young age, and this type of hands-on training is exceptional, because when you look at these groups marketing, they did their photo shoots, and it looks really professional. And even if you're not a health freak, when you look at these amazing pictures and how it's being marketed, then it's like, I want that, I need that.
What else can we expect in terms of this overall open day and what it has to showcase?
The open day itself is an opportunity for us to bring in students to feel the ambience, experience the environment, because a lot of the times I work with students at orientation, and it is amazing the anxiety level that we deal with. You know, I'm coming to a new school, yes, you know, I'm old enough to handle myself, but where do I go? And all these questions. So on open day, you get an opportunity to meet the point persons, that's student services, interact in a whimsical and easy environment so that you can ease in. You get to meet admissions and you get to experience some of the end products. Amazingly, a course like general studies, it might seem like, you know, it's more didactic and more academic, but general studies will have their entire display, and they have interactive games and so forth. A part of the general studies, I believe, will have a model of a Mayan ruin as a part of the anthropological class. The education department, they always come, you know, extremely prepared, learning centers and so forth in both primary education and early childhood education. So we've invited some of the kindergartens from around and primary schools in an event, you know, that they can come in and actually interact, and their teachers too. Because what we didn't mention is, let's say you have an associate's degree, we do certifications in early childhood and primary education, and you might be a parent and make up your mind, you know, well, I want to shift careers. That's a good opportunity too for you to come in. And
so what would you say, Dean, is the hallmark of the education that someone gets at Sacred Heart?
Okay. What we have at Sacred Heart is that, as Angelique had mentioned, is that once you're there, you're part of a family. You feel a sense of belonging. From there, I must say that when people come out of Sacred Heart, they would be able to be functional. And one of the programs that I can think of that always comes to my mind when a question like that is asked is the tourism program. Most of our students are working all over the country. We have a lot in San Pedro, down south in the tourist destinations, and in San Ignacio. They're on demand. There are people that can go and do the work, be first line managers, and that is what we like about that. Something that is new, and I must mention, because in December we're graduating our first group of students along with Ecumenical Junior College and Campbellsville University in the US, in Kentucky, is our associates and certificate in early childhood education. We, at this point, are graduating the first cohort. We're very proud of that. The students were all taught part online and part face-to-face by US lecturers. And they are doing something that is different, because in education we used to think that anybody who has studied primary ed could come and teach early childhood, and that it was a complete surprise to me as a dean of an institution to find out that that is not so. The training is so different. What children are gonna get now from these people that are trained, the impact in the community that our school will have, we're so grateful that we had this opportunity to do it.
Nice. That's so great to hear. And you know, it's always great when we get to have a perspective beyond Belize City. Unfortunately, it's a Belize-based show. But what I hear from you is that you're filling a need of the wider country, not just of San Ignacio, not just of Cayo. And that means that some of these new businesses will expand beyond Cayo as well. Tell us about this fruit business. So it's called Tiki
Touch.
Tiki Touch. All right.
Well, we have spoken as a group about continuing after our open day, because open day is our exam. That is our exam right there. So we have talked about it, and some of us are actually thinking of continuing this business and just taking it on. So because it's actually doing really good and it helps the wider community, because we have a lot of people that think, oh, I need to eat healthier, but what can I have? But that right there, it's like, okay, I'll just pick up a jar and then I have toppings to choose from. So it's not just fruits, it's not just plain I have to have fruits again.
Yeah.
I can switch up the toppings. You have 5 toppings to choose from up until now. Maybe we come up with more. We'll see.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe we could do it after we finish San Ignacio. We could have it all over the place. Who knows?
Yeah, and you have the iconic Cayo Market to get your fresh produce from. All right. So anything else you'd like to share with the public before we close off this segment?
I think whenever we think about tertiary level education, there is this stigma. I need to be academically advanced to be able to do this. And I think the biggest message we want to leave today is that anyone can do that. As we mentioned, I mean, we've expanded to embrace physical disabilities and looking into other options. We just ensure that the education is not only there, that you can access it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of making connections with us, and we try to guide you through to get you through your 2 years. And I always tease them that I will meet you at recruitment. I will ensure I will be there during your 2 years. I will bid you farewell temporarily at graduation, and then at some point you will come back to us to visit, because Sacred Heart is home.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you for coming in and telling us all about the work that you're doing, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much for having us.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll be featuring a new business in Belize City. It's called Vinotopia, and that means we'll be getting into some wine, so please stay tuned.